Hey garden maters! Today I wanted to bring you a little different type of video. It doesn't have anything to do with homesteading, animals, or gardening, or cooking, or anything like that. Last week before Easter, I went to put flowers at the cemetery, as I always do every year. And the one cemetery in particular, which is where my grandfather is buried, there are 31 different graves in there of famous people, from congressmen to baseball players to actors and actresses. So I planned on filming, finding the graves and filming as much of it as I could. And I did do 5 of them. I found 5 graves and I filmed them all. I planned on filming as I was looking for the graves, even though it took a long time to find some of them, even though I did have maps from Find a Grave for the ones I did find. But it still took a long time. And the reason I did not film is because there was a funeral in possession up there. And no matter where I seemed to go or want to film, there was a risk of getting somebody in the shot. And I didn't want to do that out of respect to the people who had just lost their loved one. So I chose not to film the actual looking of the graves, but I did film the graves themselves. Now, I am a big fan of Hollywood Graveyard. I've watched every single episode that Arthur Dark has put on there, and I have never seen anyone do any of the graves from this cemetery. So I thought, why not? I'm going to look for whoever I can find and just film what I can film. So I'm hoping that you enjoy it, that you watch it, and I will put on there, of course, who they are. And I do hope you enjoy it. But I also filmed a bit of a creepy type of place. You'll see. Stay tuned and you'll see it. It was cool, yet it was creepy. So please, if you have comments, let me know. Let me know what you think. Do you want me to continue to do them? There are more up there I could find, mostly baseball players and the such. But I will gladly film more in the future as I find them, if I can find them. But this I thought was so fascinating and so interesting, and I just wanted to share it with you. So I will continue to make the homestead videos, I promise. Chickens are doing good. Coop is coming along. You'll see that in a future video. So I do hope you enjoy. Take care. Hope you had a very good Easter, and I'll see you on the next video. This lady was first for me to find on my list. Her name is Miriam Cooper Walsh. She had her screen apprenticeship along with Mary Pickford and Lillian and Dorothy Gish, just to name a few. Although she never attained prominence, even though she was cast in 2 silent films, one being The Birth of a Nation and the other Intolerance. Mary Cooper Walsh died April 12, 1976 at the age of 84. This is Major League Baseball player Joseph Joe Kelley. He began his career playing with the Boston Beaneaters on July 27, 1891. He also continued to play for both National and American League Baltimore Orioles, and ending with the Boston Doves in 1908. He also managed the Cincinnati Reds and Boston Doves. He was elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame by the Veterans Committee in 1971. Joseph Joe died on August 14, 1943 at the age of 71. This is another grave that I just had to find. This is John Harrison Surratt. He is the Lincoln conspirator. And it amazed me that his stone was so broken up and cracked. And there is a picture right here of how it looked in better days. It is also a very small stone, so it was hard to find compared to the rest of the memorials that are in this cemetery. And it is unmarked except for the last name, so which made it even harder. But John Surratt implicated his own mother by associating with the various members of the conspiracy party which assassinated Abraham Lincoln, allowing them to meet at her Washington, D.C. boarding house. But again, you should look him up online. He is very fascinating, and it is too much to read to really go into the video here. But he did die on April the 2nd, 1916, according to findagrave.com.
And if that is the case, that puts him 11 days shy of his 72nd birthday. But again, very fascinating to look up his history, how he was in with so much government and bigotry and Confederism, and it's just fascinating. It's just so much to list about him. So I do suggest everyone look him up. I don't think they will be bored with the read, especially if you are a historian buff. But I just had to find him, and I did, and I was so glad. This is another grave that I just wanted to find so bad. It's Hall of Fame Major League Baseball player and manager John Joseph McGraw. And his mausoleum was just fascinating to me, especially with the blessed are the dead who die in the Lord written across it. It was very impressive to see this in person. But Mr. McGraw started his career in 1891 and continued to play up until 1902 when he started to manage for the New York Giants. And that is a hat and a ball that someone left on the door. And I do get a little closer to the door later on, as you'll see, to get a picture of the inside. And even though the bulletproof glass, I'm assuming it was, is quite dirty, I was able to film where you can see it. And there is also a bullet hole in the glass, which very much surprised me. But Mr. McGraw, even though he played in a time before numbers were worn on the jerseys, the Giants did honor him along with their retired numbers at AT&T Park in San Francisco, California. So this was very exciting to see. And again, if you look him up, if you're not familiar with John Joseph McGraw, you look him up online, and it's also a very fascinating read. And of course, all these people can be found on findagrave.com. But these are the last of the 4 graves that I did find up there. I did find a 5th one, but for some reason the camera wouldn't. It was just so distorted I couldn't use the footage. So I'm going to try again at a later date. But stay tuned because I have more for you, as promised. This is footage of just the cemetery itself from outside of John Joseph McGraw's mausoleum. Every time you think you're at the end of this place, you're not. There's more to come. This cemetery is massive in size. So now I'm going to show you the creepy yet extremely interesting building that I came across right around the corner from this grave. I hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching.
Alright, this is wild. Look at this. Looks like a house. But it's not. Look at that. Whoa, the door is open. Okay, y'all, the door is open. Whoa. Okay, that's a little bit spooky. Look at that, the door is open. Do I got it? I can't see. It's so bright out here. Whoa. Alright, I'm sorry, that's a bit creepy. I see bricks in there. It's massive. I mean, this is massive. I could live in it. Whoa. That's the other side. I ain't about to go down into that all, y'all. No way. I'm grave hunting, not ghost hunting. Whoa, it's open on this side too. Alright. Now it's getting a little spooky here. So I ain't about to go in there. But that is humongous. Sheesh. Wow. Ooh. Oh no, it's even got a vent. Wow.